Hello, 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 Instagram. This is Bonnie with Old Soul Mermaid with another video of my deck collection. As I've said before, I'm trying to divide my deck collection into categories so that it's not this one or two or even three overwhelming videos. So this one should be really short because I don't have many in this category. And today's category is my Baba Studio decks. And as you know, with Baba Studio, they might do 1, 2, 3 printings of a deck and then it's gone forever. And it goes to the realm of eBay where they are double, triple, quadruple the cost. So if you miss out on them, you know, initially it's a very sad thing. But so let me reach over. I should have brought them closer to me. My first deck that I bought from Baba Studios is the Alice Tarot. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I did get the guidebook with it, and I did get the little bag, velvet bag, and look at the cute little tassels. And let me take the deck out so you can see the bag flat. If you all know Baba Studios, they have beautiful products, not just tarot decks, but their bags are wonderful. And the cost of the bag, the book, and the deck, I was able to get free shipping. Because I think you get free shipping for $150 or more. Yeah. So, you know, I think that I did get a discount on the bag when I bought the deck. I think I got 20% off. The book is, I think, $25, and then, you know, the deck. This was one of their more expensive decks. I think it at $115. So it was one that I saved up for because I really wanted it. If can't show you right now, but I'm a big Alice in Wonderland fan. I have a big Alice kind of this picture tattooed on my left arm, but I have the classic drawing from the book, but it's kind of this scene with her, you know, holding her hands up to the cards, and in the book, you know, after the trial, she's saying, "You're all just a pack of cards." So yeah, I have this tattooed on my arm. But what I love about this deck, and let me show you, those of you who have it, you have the, if you have the guidebook, it has a small color picture of the card in the guidebook, and it has the traditional RWS meaning. It has the Alice meanings, and I haven't done an unboxing of this deck because there's a lot of them on YouTube, and but if you'd like me to do one, let me know. It does have parts of the book in the in this guidebook. The guidebook has really nice silky paper, and you'll see some classic illustrations. So this one is from another, it's not from the Alice in Wonderland book. It's from a manuscript of Alice's Adventures Underground, and it was illustrated by this is by Lewis Carroll himself, not the drawings we know from the classic book. But they did use live action, and I think in models, and I think that's one of the reasons why maybe this deck was a little bit more expensive than some of their other ones initially, because they had to pay their models. As you see, there's behind the scenes in this book of them shooting the cards, which, let me get down a little more so you can see that. Yeah, they used actual models or live actors, you know, for their shots in the cards. And you get different examples of illustrations from different publications of the book. This is Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass combined. So it is a wonderful one. I just love Alice. And I think we're living in a kind of Alice in Wonderland world right now. Alice is having her time right now. Topsy-turvy, you know, just where you're going, what the heck? What the heck? What is reality? What is truth? This is, here's a picture which I think is really cool of croquet players circa 1960. So, you know, croquet with Alice, and then croquet with Alice in Wonderland. So that is the guidebook, and it is a wonderful, wonderful guidebook. And there's the back. So I'm going to move that off to the side, and we'll look at the box. The box is Baba Studio's wonderful, you know, clamshell, sturdy cardboard, beautiful. Now this is the second edition. I did not get in on the first edition. This is the second printing. The other one, first edition, is sold out. I assume going for a lot of money on eBay. It does come, let me see. No, I kept the Baba Studios art card in there. I think I'm going to put it someplace else. It does come, even though I bought the guidebook, it does come with a little white book, but you don't get those wonderful extras and pictures in it. It does have, I believe it only has the Alice, the Alice meaning in the little white book. I never looked at really the little white book. I read the companion book, so I was not aware of that. So yeah, I learned something today. Very, very basic. But well, let me read you a reading for the Tower, and it's a picture of Humpty Dumpty. In the little white book, it says, a sudden event that changes things in unexpected ways. An accident, a fall from grace, a catastrophe, or something that at least feels catastrophic at the time. A life-changing occurrence that happens without warning. A crisis, a sudden revelation, or insight that shakes you to the core. Okay, so some of these do have the Alice meaning. The Alice meaning has pride comes before a fall. Something is broken and can't be mended. Someone or something who feels they are too important to be valuable, perhaps mistakenly. Okay, so it does have some of the Alice meanings, I think, for the major arcana. So that's a little white book. You do get a little white book if you don't get the companion book, because the companion book is, I think, like $25. And it's the art card. But I put these in order because I was taking pictures of them. But as you can see, and I don't think my little phone is going to pick it up, but there is definite embossing, gold embossing in these cards. And they are so lifelike. When I look at these cards, I am stepping, see if I can get closer, stepping, going through the looking glass, going down the rabbit hole. Now look at this, the High Priestess. Now there is gold embossing. I'm tilting it on the wallpaper and the clock. And this is fantastic artwork, photography. Oh, the baby. It's going to turn into a pig. I would say if you're an Alice fan, you would really get a lot out of this deck. I don't know. Well, maybe. Okay, you're going to have to let me know in the comments what kind of readings you get with the Alice in Wonderland deck. If you know nothing about Alice, you know, you never read the books before, or if it's been a while and you just barely, you know, remember the basics of the story. So you get 2 Lovers card in this deck. I put in the walrus, walrus and the carpenter. The Chariot, Strength, the Hermit. And these are all characters in the Alice story. And look at, I don't know if you can see in the fan, the beautiful, beautiful gold. The Hangman is the Cheshire Cat. I love this card. And it has text. I don't know if you can see it, but where my finger is going is light text from the book. Adorable. This queen, oh my gosh. What a wonderful expressive face this actress or model has. And there's Alice. Which one? Which one? The Devil. Beware the Jabberwock, my son. The jaws that bite, the claws that catch. That's in the little writing right here. And here's a Humpty Dumpty card. Isn't that wonderful? This is just wonderful. The Star. And I love this card going down the rabbit hole. I used to dream as a kid what it must be like to go down the rabbit hole, literally. Having it done, you know, in the Walt Disney movie, she falls down rather slowly, but this really, you know, you get momentum in this, you get the feeling of momentum in this card. One of my favorites. I mean, this whole, I'm such a big Alice fan, so every card's my favorite. But Tweedledee, Tweedledum, my husband said they were creepy. I don't find them creepy at all. They're Wonderland characters. They're from Wonderland, so they're unique. The World, Ace of Wands, and this is one of my favorite decks. Again, wonderful Baba Studio cardstock. This, again, you know, I've said, I think in one of my other videos, I don't like papery cardstock, and this is more papery than some that I have, but it is it's good paper. And there's the beautiful backs. 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands. Little hedgehogs. Porcupines. I think they're porcupines. And there's my bag, the photograph that my bag is based on. 6 of Wands. 7 of Wands. 8 of Wands. You just can't beat the artwork and the photography in this. You just cannot. Look at the expressiveness in these actors, models' faces. And it's just, it's my favorite, guys. It's my favorite. It just, I believe in fairy tales. There's still a lot of 12-year-old girls in this 52-year-old woman. So that is the beautiful, beautiful Alice in Wonderland deck. And I want to know what kind of readings, if you have this, what kind of readings are you getting? Is it hard? Is it hard for you to get messages because you're not familiar with the story? I haven't had a problem with it. It seems to, of any deck, this one seems to cohabitate well with my brain and how my brain works. Maybe because Alice was such a big part of my life as a child. I don't know. It was a deck that was an investment. I had to save up a little bit, kind of, you know. I don't know if I've mentioned that I sew it was one of those things. Do I want this fabric over here, or do I and a new pattern to make this new article of clothing, or do I want to get this deck? You know, sometimes we have to make the hard choices. I can't buy everything. So that is the Alice in Wonderland Tarot by Baba Studio. That will probably be the longest one I go over. I mean for this to be a shorter video because I tend to ramble, and I apologize. But you know, I flip through the cards and I have something to say about everything. You know how it is. It is, I will say that the deck is a little bit chunky for the bag, but it's all good. It's all good. So put away Alice. And the next one is going to be my little teeny itsy bitsy bohemian gothic mini deck. Now I was not able to get the 3rd edition full-sized one, and I'm on the lookout. I'm checking eBay for times when I'm looking for a sealed copy. That's what I'm doing. I want a sealed copy, and lately there's been a couple of them on eBay, but they've been snatched up. By the time I was ready to get it, yeah, it was gone. So this is a well-known deck, but there hasn't been I don't think a lot of showings of the little teeny itsy bitsy deck. It does come with this is literally a tiny, look at that, tiny little white book. And they've sold out of their full-size guidebook too, so I don't have that either. But it comes, I believe these are the same backings as the full-size 3rd edition. I'm just grateful to have these images, and I'm going to have to get in closer because this is such a tiny deck. But you see how it's kind of cool to have a mini deck, but I do, you know, it's totally portable, but I would like to have a full size deck, because when I discovered this deck, this is my jam too. You know, Victorian Gothic, you know, Edwardian, anything old. I love. This is such a beautiful world card. Beautiful. And you will see in my later videos my love for old photographs in, you know, some of the decks that are in my collection. So these are well familiar images. That's the creepiest hermit card I've ever seen. The Lovers. And this one does come with the 2 Lovers cards as well, you know, like the full-size one does. So you can see. And for being such a small scaled down deck, they've done a very good job of getting in, you know, you get the full experience of the art. You know, they did a pretty good job. I don't think much was cut out. It was just scaled down, very teeny tiny. And it is fun to shuffle. It's a lot of fun to shuffle. Because with this one, I don't get a lot of jumpers because it fits in my hands. And yes, I am on a quest to get a full-size one. If I can, I might have to relent, you know, in getting one that they say, you know, it's been opened but never used. If it comes from a non-smoking home, maybe from the U.S., I might jump on that. But I am looking for a unopened, you know, 3rd edition of this deck. There's the other Lovers. I need to take that one. It's meant to be put upside down in the box. But yes, I love these images so much that I'm just salivating. I'm just coveting a full-size deck. So that is my teeny tiny pocket-sized mini Bohemian Gothic. I did edge it in black. It turned out pretty well. And the only reason why I edged this one, it was begging for it because it's dark. And the only time I will edge a deck is if it's dark, has black borders, and I'm going to edge it in black. Because I'm not that good, and I don't want, don't want bleeding on my cards, especially if they're, this mini deck. Well, I don't want to say what it costs, but you can get, I believe Baba Studios, this is the only iteration they have of this deck left on their site, the Pocket Mini. And if you want it without a box, it's only $38. So, but, I mean, you need the box. So they don't even have the guidebook left for this, the current guidebook. It's all sold out, Too bad, so sad for those of us who are slow to act. But I have faith that I will find a full-size one of this, hopefully sealed, but we will see. I'm biding my time. I keep checking. So that's Bohemian Gothic Tarot. My next one, I got this off of eBay after it had sold out, so I did. It's an investment deck. I did pay a pretty penny going back and forth with the owner of the deck on the price. It was sealed though. That's why I was willing to get it. I jumped on it, and I've seen all the unboxings. I looked at probably every single unboxing of this deck that's on YouTube, and I knew it was something I had to have. My love for all things Victorian, Edwardian, old, and you're all familiar with it. The beautiful embossing, and this is the second. I think that this was, I can't remember, second or third edition. Probably the third edition, because I just scratch all that. I don't know. But there are the beautiful backs, and I do have the little white book, and because I got this on eBay, I didn't get the companion book, but I am going to, the companion books, the most current companion book is still available on Baba Studios website, and I have some bonus points to use towards that, so I am definitely going to be getting that very soon, because with decks like these, I like to know, have the full experience I think that you can get with those beautiful companion books. And I know many of you are very, very familiar with these, with the pictures. And if I tilt again, they have that nice gold foil. I don't know if the light's bad. It's a rainy day here in Austin, so the light isn't as good as it usually is in this room. I have a lot of great natural sunlight in this room, but today there's no sun, nothing but clouds. Ace of Wands, the Fool. I love this deck. Again, in the comments, let me know, what kind of readings do you get? What do you think of the Baba Studios deck? Do you think that they are worth the money? I definitely do, up to a certain price point. I think the best value is when you can get them when they're, readily available on the website, and you don't have to purchase them on eBay once they go out of print. That is not ideal, because you are paying much more. but this is what appeals to me. This is what my heart and soul gravitates to. This is what moves me. This is what sparks my imagination in a reading. And this Nine of Swords, the Sleepwalker, oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, this type of artwork speaks to me, sparks my imagination, gets my intuition going. My mind goes in all kinds of places when I see imagery such as this. Again, same cardstock as Alice. Good paper though. It's, you know, more papery than my, you know, some of the other decks. I like a linen finish cardstock, or I like the thick rose petal matte. I'm less inclined to like the papery cardstock, but the Baba Studios is good cardstock, so that's the exception. So that is a Victorian Romantic. Oh, this is so gorgeous. When I look at this, you know where my mind goes. That wonderful Cupid up there. Baba Studios, you know, they knock it out of the park with their decks. If this kind of artwork is your jam, this is it is mine, and this is what just sets my heart aflutter, this kind of artwork. So that's the Victorian Romantic Tarot, Baba Studios. I do plan to get the companion book from Baba Studios while it's still available. And this was a copy, a sealed brand new copy that was purchased on eBay, which I paid more than the initial original price. But to me, it's worth it. It's one of my, it's never going to leave my collection. And so now I have one more deck to show you, and I have not opened it yet. And it's here. And I did buy it with the companion book. Yay! So I'm going to open it now. So this is kind of just a deck collection video with the addition of an unboxing. So what is it? What is it? It is the Tarot of Prague. I bought the companion book, and because I bought this on the website, it's the last time I checked, it's been a while. It's been a while since I checked. At least a couple of weeks. It was still available, book and deck, but I have a feeling it's not going to be available for long. And again, this has an aesthetic kind of like the Victorian Romantic. The pictures on this book are not colored like the Alice. But they do have, you know, good sized pictures. And they have a short interpretation and a full interpretation of the card. And the sources, maybe for the pictures, the artwork. And this talks about the court cards and gives you some extra information. Yeah, that's why I wanted the companion book, and I'll get the companion book whenever I can get it. So I need to get that Victorian Romantic book, because I think I've seen a lot of videos where the people have the guidebook or choose not to get the guidebook, or they have it and they haven't read it, or they've skimmed through it, I will read through all the guidebook because I think it just adds to the experience. It will add to me getting intuitive hits if I know the history or the reason why something was chosen. It just adds to the arsenal that you need as a reader. And it's a beautiful book. Does it have the same paper? Yes, same paper quality as the Alice. Very silky smooth, a little bit glossy paper in the guidebook. So, and I'm sorry, this is the way that decks should be packaged. I can't tell you how many decks, especially when I order from Amazon, they come in it's a padded envelope, but it's very flimsy, way too large to pack a deck in. And I've sent decks back because my boxes have been dinged up in the corners. And I'm sorry, if I'm paying my money to purchase from your company, a deck from your company, I want it to be in pristine condition. I'm sorry, that's the way it is, and I'm going to send it back, and I will keep sending it back until I get a pristine deck. And usually that, you know, it's it only takes one time. Usually the second one will come to my satisfaction. I am kind of persnickety that way. But you know, it's money. It's my money being spent, and I'm supporting Amazon. When I get decks, I expect them to be pristine. But basically, from any deck creator, you know, I expect them to package their decks accordingly, especially, you know, how hurried our mail people are, mail carriers are, that they may not know the preciousness of these, you know, how precious these decks are to us and how much we pay for some of them, that they, you know, it's not important to them. They're working on a timetable, which I understand, but all right. Yay! I got it. I was afraid it was going to sell out before I could afford to get it, but thank goodness it did not. And I know for many of you tarot enthusiasts, this deck is very, very familiar to you. I've been, you know, looking at, I think I've practically seen all the unboxings of this deck, and I am so happy to have it in my collection now, the Tarot of Prague. Prague is a city I would love to visit, so it does come with a little white book, the art card. Look at those backs. I mean, oh my gosh. I'm, if you don't know, I'm a history buff. And I read history for fun and enjoyment. I'm a history nerd, and that has kind of rubbed off on my son. He's a historian. He has a degree in history and philosophy, and we are history nerds. And anything old, you know, it's the thing that gets my, oh, this plastic cellophane is sticking to my hands. It's what, oh, I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it is actually raining quite hard here right now. So I apologize if the lighting is getting worse. I think it's still okay. These cards spark my imagination like nothing else does, and I could probably, without reading the book, I can tell that just touching these cards and looking at the images, I can do a reading. Oh my gosh, I'm smelling the wonderful new cardstock smell. Like to get high off of that, right? This, yes, like I've said, with the Victorian Romantic, tickles my fancy. This is collage art here. Very much so, but it is done in such a beautiful, cohesive way, in a way that only Baba Studios can do. And I can't wait to delve into this book, the guidebook. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at the death card. I think there are extra, yes, there's an extra death card and an extra sun card in this deck, but I think I'm gonna keep this death card. It goes, I think it goes more with the aesthetic of the deck. But yes, again, wonderful, wonderful cardstock. These are so beautiful. This moon, which is the box. You know, well, to me, well worth the price. And then again, I did get this off the Baba Studio website. As far as I know, this hasn't sold out yet. But I could be wrong, and you can feel free, if you've been on recently the website, go and check and put it in the comments if you know. Well, there goes your naked baby, but it's a sassy naked baby, and it's not in the sun card. Yeah, it's got some attitude, which I'm fine with. But these cards, this imagery, yeah. This is my jam. I know. I'd like to hear what, if you want to, put in the comments what tickles your fancy. What kind of artwork in a tarot or oracle deck gets your imagination going? I would really, really like to know. And this video is getting longer than I meant for it to be, so we're just going to flip through really, really quick. A few more cards, because I know you're familiar with this. If you're not, if you'd like me to do a full walkthrough, I will. I would like to study the guidebook, and maybe I'll hop on and just, you know, give you do a video of my experience working with the deck after I've read with it and gone through the guidebook. So I might come back with this deck. But that is the Tarot of Prague, and you got to see me open it, and those are my Baba Studio decks. I think they are coming back. Is it the Fantastic Menagerie that they're going to come back with? Do another reprinting of that. So I will make sure that I will get that and not leave it to go out of print. So I have to get a deck off of eBay, which I think I'm going to have to do with this one. I hope there's one. I'm being persnickety. I want an unopened, sealed, full-size 3rd edition of this deck. I'm not looking for the 1st or 2nd edition. I'm specifically looking for the 3rd edition. So give me a heads up if you know. I haven't been on eBay in a few days, so yeah, let me know. And in the comments, let me know what your experiences have been with reading with these decks, and what, obviously, as you've seen, I don't have all their decks, and if you have decks that I don't have, if one of those are your favorite, let me know what kind of readings you have and what you think about Baba Studios in general. I'm a new channel, so I would really appreciate a thumbs up, a subscribe if you found any value to this video. Also, you know, my new subscribers, the first ones of you that have subscribed, all of you, I appreciate so much you taking the time to look at my videos, because I know how precious, what a precious commodity time is. And it means a lot. It really does. Of all the other videos that you could be looking at, I'm glad from the bottom of my heart that you took the time to look at my little small channel. So I will be back with another part of my series of my deck collection. And just know that I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you very soon. So bye-bye.